Welcome, learner, to our continuing lessons in the series of Manifested Publishers platform. We are looking at the human resource management subject, and in our previous topics we have looked at various topics through various lessons. Today's lesson we are looking at the topic of training and development, and we have previously looked at objectives of training. We have looked at the learning organization. We have looked at the types of training. We have looked at training needs analysis. We have looked at training design. We have had a look at implementing a training program. And today's lesson, we are going to look at another very interesting area also, which is evaluation of training and development. Evaluation of training and development is our lesson today. Evaluation of training and development. Evaluation of training and development. Learner, this is our lesson today. And in this lesson, we are going to look at the meaning of evaluation of training and development. We will also look at the reasons. What are the reasons that make it necessary for organizations to conduct evaluation of training and development? Then we will look at the dimensions of evaluation of training and development. It has different dimensions. Then we will also be able to look at our assignment for today. So for a start, we have been going through various topics in the area of training and development. Our training program has been designed, and we mentioned that the training program will have particular set objectives. And this activity of evaluation of training and development becomes very critical as a measure as to whether the training and development program has achieved the required objectives in relation to that particular activity. So learner, training and development, evaluation of training and development. Evaluation of training and development refers to an assessment as to whether a training program, a training and development program, achieved the training and development objectives. So learner, we have talked about training objectives. An organization might have set out a training so that this training can be able to improve the communication skills of a given employee, or can be able to enhance the operation skill of a given machine. So when you talk about evaluation of training and development, this refers to an assessment. It refers to an assessment as to whether a training and development program, achieved the training and development objectives, achieved the training and development objectives. So it is very critical, Anna, to ensure that whenever you set out a training activity is time consuming. A training activity is expected to provide employees with the skills, knowledge, and attitudes that can also be able to protect their safety, protect the safety of others, protect machines, and reduce accidents. So when you set out to carry out a training program, it is critical there is a component of evaluation of training and development, and it must be done in such a way that that training and development achieves the set objective, hence the relevance of evaluation of training and development. So what are the reasons for evaluation of training and development? Reasons for evaluation, reasons for evaluation of training and development. What are the reasons for evaluation of training and development? So why should training and development be evaluated? Now, the first one, which is very critical, as we have said, one, to determine whether training and development objectives have been met, have been realized. So the first and very critical reason why training and development is evaluated is to determine whether training and development objectives have been realized. So that is a very critical, learner. You might have set out a training, and this particular person, for example, is a driver, and you wanted this driver to be able to get a particular skill because the kind of work they do, they can endanger themselves, they can endanger their passengers, they can endanger other road users. So one of the very critical reasons for evaluating training is to determine whether the objectives of the training have been realized, which will be very critical in deploying that particular human resource or that particular worker on that particular assignment or that particular job. Now, secondly, to identify areas of improvement in future. When a training has been conducted, for example, in 2021 or it was conducted in 2020, then it is important when that training is evaluated, the trainees or the trainers may provide information that can be able to improve on the provision of that training at a future date so that that training remains relevant. So to keep the trainees, to keep the trainers and trainees accountable. When training is evaluated, employees or maybe those who are taken for the training and the trainers, when they complete the training evaluation documents or forms, they are being kept accountable for having undertaken that particular training, and that one can be used when the report for the training program is being, for example, prepared. So it makes the trainees and the trainers accountable for the training that they have undertaken. Now, evaluation of training can also be done to establish the level of knowledge transfer. So that is also important, that when a training program is being evaluated, those evaluating it can now also be looking at the establishment of the level of knowledge transfer as a result of that particular training and development program. So that knowledge transfer can be evaluated from the level of responses to the training tool, or how the trainees are reacting to the questions in terms of the evaluation. Now, training can also be evaluated by those who have conducted that particular training to establish the changes in behavior. To establish the changes that have taken place in behavior. To establish the changes that have taken place in behavior. Remember, learner, when employees are trained or developed, what is being looked at is their behavior as far as the jobs they are performing are concerned. So, when a training evaluation is done, for example, after the training has been completed, maybe after, say, 6 months, that kind of an evaluation is meant to establish the changes that have taken place since these particular employees or these trainees undertook the training. They have resumed their activities. So have they been able to change their conduct and behavior in relation to the jobs that they are performing? So that is also important to also find out, to determine, number 6, to find out the level of employee engagement, to find out the level of employee engagement. So if employees have gone to a training program and they are undertaking that particular program and they are evaluated in relation, for example, at the beginning of the training, in the middle of the training program, and at the end. So it is important that when that kind of evaluation is done, it is possible to find out the level of engagement and commitment that the employees have towards that particular training program. And that then becomes one of the reasons why employees are taken through that particular training program. Now, training evaluation of training and development can also be conducted to evaluate the impact of training, to evaluate the impact of training on employee performance. An organization can conduct an evaluation of a training and development program to find out what has been the impact of that particular training on employee performance. So if the impact has been positive and productivity has gone up, then it is possible to say that these employees who are subjected to a training and development program, the impact has been positive. But if the impact cannot be felt and the performance of the workers who have been trained has remained the same, then that particular training has had no much impact on the performance of those particular employees. So that again becomes the reason why an organization conducts a training and development program, to be able to at least get this particular kind of feedback. So dear learner, reasons for evaluation of training, there could be many reasons, and these ones are just some of the reasons that can be put forward for evaluation of training and development. And what we are saying, that evaluation of training and development learner, this is the assessment as to whether a learner, or as to whether a training and development program has achieved the training and development objectives. As we have discussed previously, before any training is conducted, that particular training program should have particular objectives. So what we are saying is that evaluation of training and development is an assessment as to whether a training and development program has achieved the training has achieved, has achieved the training and development objectives that were set out. Now, what are some of the reasons for evaluation of training and development? Some of the reasons, dear learner, for evaluating a training and development program are, number one, to determine, the first reason is to determine whether training and development objectives have been realized. One of the reasons for evaluating evaluation of training and development programs. Two, to identify areas of improvement in future. Number two. Number three, to keep the trainers and trainees accountable. Number four, to establish the level of knowledge transfer. Number five, to establish the changes that have taken place in the behavior of the trainees. Number six, to find out the level of employee engagement. Number seven, to evaluate the impact of training on employee performance in a given organization that may be attributed to a training program. Then learner, there are also dimensions, what you call dimensions of evaluation of training and development. You have what you call dimensions of evaluation of training and development. Dimensions of training and development. So what are some of these dimensions? So one, context evaluation. You have what you call a context evaluation. So you evaluate the context within which that particular training program has taken place. So were you training these employees in the workplace or outside the workplace? Or were you training these employees in a committee or in a case study or in an incident scenario? So the context under which the training has taken place, that one can be used as one of the dimensions of that particular training. Then there is the input evaluation. So what has been the input of the trainees as they have been going through that particular training program? Have they brought in ideas? Have they participated in the process? So the input dimension can also be used to see these employees have undergone a particular test before the training, have undergone a particular test in the middle of the training, and at the end of the training. So their input into that particular training can also be a dimension that can be evaluated. There is also what is called process evaluation. Now, the process evaluation of training and development, you might have employees working on a line or a production setting. So if they are being trained on that assembly line, so what has been the performance of those particular trainees as that particular line of production is going on? There is also what you call product evaluation. Employees may be required to carry out product evaluation. Those who are being trained may be told to be able to assemble a particular, for example, process, carry out maybe a programming system and so on. So that particular process, product evaluation that they have been subjected to, then the product can be evaluated in terms of how they have performed and to what level they have acquired the skills and the knowledge in relation to the training, and that product evaluation becomes a dimension that can be used for evaluating training and a development program. Then there is also what is called impact evaluation. Impact evaluation. Supposing, dear learner, there has been a particular production employee who was having a lot of wastage materials in the production process, for example. So this impact evaluation can be conducted to find out if the employee was working in a shift and when you cost the materials that have been damaged, used to be, for example, worth 1,000 shillings. When this employee goes for a training program and then the quantification of the losses that come out of the wasted material is 100 shillings. So you can now see, initially the organization was losing 1,000 shillings per shift in relation to wasted output, but now they are losing only 100. So that's a difference of around 900 shillings. So the impact evaluation can now be able to conclude that after going through the training program, this particular learner or this particular trainee has been able to reduce the wastages associated with the production process, and the impact of that particular evaluation can be able to be measured. And that's what we are saying, even if it is in a service area. There were a lot of complaints about this particular employee, but after undergoing a communications maybe training, this employee is able to serve without any complaints from the customer. So that impact evaluation of the training can be measured or can be assessed. So those ones are the dimensions of evaluation of training and development program in relation to an organization. So Lana, we have looked at the dimensions of evaluation of training and development, where we have said there is what you call context evaluation. Context evaluation. First one is context evaluation. We have also looked at input evaluation. We have looked at process evaluation. We have looked at product evaluation. We have looked at impact evaluation. And what you're saying is that different evaluation dimensions may be used depending on the kind of training program that has been implemented. So your assignment, dear learner, for the lesson of today, your assignment based on our lesson today is describe the reasons. Describe the reasons that may make an organization describe the reasons that may make an organization to evaluate its training and development program. Its training and development program. So dear learner, your assignment for today's lesson, describe the reasons that may make an organization to evaluate its training and development program. Describe the reasons that may make an organization to evaluate its training and development program. So dear learner, we have come to the end of our lesson today, which was evaluation of training and development, where we have looked at the meaning of evaluation and evaluation of training and development, reasons for evaluation of training and development, where we have looked at the first one, which was to determine whether training and development objectives have been realized. Number 7, to evaluate the impact of training on employee performance. And we have also looked at the dimensions of evaluation of training and development, which we have said you can have a context evaluation, input evaluation, process evaluation, product evaluation, impact evaluation. And I have given you an assignment for today's lesson, which was evaluation of training and development. And your assignment, dear learner, is describe the reasons that may make an organization to evaluate its training and development program. So thank you very much for your active participation in our continuing lessons in human resource management. Thank you.